and welcome to the Lifestyles with Thais show. I'm Thais Froggatt and I'm your host. I'm connecting with new faces and listening to your stories. There is nothing more I enjoy than speaking to individuals that have something to share. We'll discover what you've been up to, those not afraid to start something new, or if you're helping others. Doing it tough, we want to hear about it. Let's welcome to the show our guest. She's a single mum of 2 boys. She's juggling her full-time job, homeschooling, and giving time and energy into this beautiful and generous concept, Kids in Quarantine. This special guest is here today to share her story. We'll learn where it all started, the challenges faced, and perhaps the direction of where it's going. We're told Kids in Quarantine isn't slowing down anytime soon. It's growing, and Mandi could do with all the help she can get. Welcome, Mandi.
Hi, Thais. How are you going? Thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. No, thank you for joining us. We're very excited about what you're up to, and I'd love to hear some more about it.
So basically, I got wrangled. Well, not really wrangled. I heard there was a call out on social media. Really lucky in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. We've got some amazing viral kindness pages. And on one of the viral kindness pages, there was a nurse that sent a call out for help. She was working in the hotels where the kids are in quarantine, or the families and individuals are in quarantine. And she, realizing how hard that some of these kids were doing it because they don't have much with them. So therefore, she'd asked if someone could create some care packages for the kids to keep them busy. I saw this come through on one of the Facebook pages, so I'm involved in my boys' high school as the PNF president. So I threw it out and I said, look, sure, yeah, I'm quite sure we can get something together. So I threw it out on the Marsland website where the boys are at high school, my boys are at high school, and I got inundated with donations. And so we were able to make up 10 care packages, which was lovely, and we delivered them the next day. And then Aoife, who was the nurse, knew that I had more donations, and she said, look, can I pass your details on to another nurse working in another hotel? So I said, yeah, sure. And then that list was like, I think off the top of my head, 25. And then I think her name was Jody, and she said, look, these were amazing. It's, been so good. Can I pass you? And it's just snowballed. Basically, it's just, I think now, as of today, we've got 15 more to deliver today, but that will be 465 children just over 7 weeks now that we've delivered care packages to.
Oh, wow. So how many hotels are you delivering to?
Well, so it eventually started at hotels because the government, the police, immigration, whoever's organising the situation, I think it's a joint effort. Originally, they went into hotels because it was such a quick, they had to react to the government's policy of hotel quarantine for international guests. A lot of these people, can I just say, I've been harangued a little bit by some people saying, oh, I can't believe you're doing these for the holiday makers. They shouldn't have gone away on holidays. Well, that stopped a long time ago. So these are just families, expats wanting to come home to Australia for whatever reasons. So originally they were in hotels, and the operation that quarantines all these people really understood, and so sought out different places. So now most of the families, actually, if not all the families, are now in apartments. So if they're bigger families, so some families are only 1 or 2 children, some families are 5 and 6 kids. So if you guys think you're doing it, if you guys think you're doing it tough quarantining in your own home, then imagine having 2, 3, 4, 5 kids trying to homeschool, do whatever in a tiny, hotel room, alternatively just like a little apartment. So yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I never thought of it just outside of the hotels you've expanded into people's homes and apartments. That's really interesting. So the donations, is it second hands as well as new items? Is it a mix?
So first off, because I just threw it out to my surf club community and also the school community, and I was just thinking it was going to be a one-off. They were just donations that whatever the family wanted to give. So I gave some ideas, colouring in, colouring books, toys, games, puzzles, all that type of thing. And then it just, basically it became a bit fluid. I was speaking to the nurses, what do you think works? What, Uno, packs of Uno cards, books. My front veranda looks like a library at the moment. So, yeah, so so it started off with pre-loved, but then some really beautiful, amazing people just went shopping, said, Mans, what do you need? And I'm like, well, this is what I need at the moment. This is what I've found that works, with the families. This is what I got a lot of feedback, because I got feedback from the families. So it's just sort of grown from the feedback from the nurses and the families. And then just before Easter, it just was huge. I think we'd done like 200, 150, 200 by then, I can't remember. And it was Easter Sunday. And in that meantime, Faber-Castell came on board. They were amazing, amazing, can I just say. They gave us this massive donation of colouring in pencils and colouring in books, some beautiful, beautiful colouring books. And so I sat down with the boys. I got approached by a couple of people who asked if I needed help. And I said, yes, I've got no idea about social media. Like, I use Facebook, but that's it. So I had this amazing one called Tam Obelitz approach me. She's got a massive following, and she said, babe, you've got to set up a Instagram page, but you need to come up with a logo. You need to come up with something. So the boys and I sat down as we were playing Uno on Easter Sunday and came up with our logo. I'm not sure if you've seen our little logo with the Q, the rainbow Q.
We've got your...
So we created...
So who came up with the logo? Say that again. Was it your boys?
The boys and I. So my boys and I, my boys are 12 and 13 years of age, and we were just playing Uno on Easter Sunday, and I just said, come on, let's put together a logo. And because we've been doing cards that go, that's it, yes, that's it. So it's like it's a rainbow Q with the words kids in. So it was very rough when it first started. So I just, because on the care packages, we put these little cards on the front of the care packages that have got little, positive sayings and lots of little rainbows and stuff. And I just say it's the first time my boys have actually ever coloured in a rainbow with me, and they're 12 and 13. And then
their mum right now.
What's that?
I imagine they're very proud of their mum right now for doing such a great cause and helping others. It's setting a really good example, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've grown up in a family that, has done a lot. My aunt is Gabby Hollows, so from the Fred Hollows Foundation. And so we've grown up with that all my life. And then I've been also the head coach for a charity team called Running for Premature Babies, and we raise money to buy equipment for the newborn intensive care units around Australia. So I've been with that since they were born. So that they just know that. They just think, as they said to me the other day, I apologise for giving all my spare time away. And they're like, Mum, we're just so used to it. That's just part of our life. We just think that most mothers do this. So here's some of the packages now. They just think that that's just normal, I suppose, which is,
it's really amazing what you're up to. So I can see that you've got the bags there are donated. What was it, from Woolworths, or what other companies have been donating to you?
So when we first did our first drop-off, one of the mums dropped off a whole bunch of stuff that she garnered from her own friends, and they were in the zip-up bags. And then speaking to the nurses, and I was in the police force many years ago for nearly 10 years, and I would understand that we would need to have some type of safety and security, because at that stage, point in time, we just needed to have things that were going into the hotels needed to be secured. So we just started using the zip-up bags, because once we'd sanitized everything, there was no point putting them in an open bag, because they, the staff in the hotels, the police, the nurses, the administration staff are really busy. Like it's really full on for them. It's really full on for them. So sometimes when we drop off, the bags could be sitting there for a couple of hours until they get a chance to go and, take them to all the rooms, especially when it's a big drop. So they needed to be secure, and that's why we started using the zip-up bags. And I was begging for them online through all the different groups and stuff. And then Woolworths were amazing. They came through with 600 bags, which was great. So they're stored in a friend's house. If you go to our Insta page,
You must be relying on so many people around you for storage in their garage, and then I guess the drop-off of items from all these generous people to companies. Word of mouth is amazing. I mean, even how I just discovered you, which was it's keeping it local, but at the same time, it's growing and expanding. So I see
really
you're going to.
Sorry, I'm gonna jump in for a second. What's really exciting is some people have seen us on the kindness viral pages, which are international, interstate, and I've had packs, anonymously, packs of Uno being emailed to me. I've had another woman, and these are all on the Insta page, so you can go to that. But another woman who owns a creative play company, she sent me this massive big box of creative foam and playing stuff. It was like at one point in time it was like Christmas at my place, but sadly we've almost run out of donations, and it's just like we did 65 children.
I was just saying it's
yeah.
exciting.
Sorry.
It's terribly exciting that it's coming together, and it's growing exponentially. Like we'll see where it goes, and the direction of it. Do you see yourself continuing this for the indefinite until, I guess?
Well, of course, because I'm actually not going to the hotels and apartments to seek. It's just basically nurses that have heard about us, or there's a couple of people that work in the Department of Community Justice. So it's just through word of mouth for families. I was actually just at something this morning that was run by the police, and they invited me to come along to that. And they'd heard about me. Actually, one of the police officers had helped do an urgent delivery, so they invited me along. It was at Woolworths in Redfern, and Con, who owns that, had donated some bags to us, which is great because we've got another big drop to come. But yeah, so it's quite interesting. Like it's across the nurses, it's across the police. Woolworths have been. Woolworths have been so good. Faber-Castell, Bunnings gave us a shed to put everything in because it was just all sitting on my front veranda. Yeah, so where it goes, I don't know, because I'm not sourcing the families; they're just coming to me, and I don't know how long hotel quarantine is going to be.
It's terribly organic. It's really good.
Yeah, it's a lot of thinking on my feet.
Wow, Mandi, you're an amazing individual. You have been an absolute inspiration for us today. So thank you. Please continue to shine, and no doubt those that are listening will want to help you further. You can give generously. Sorry, darling.
Yes, I said we're pretty low on most of our stocks now, so I'm always scared when a list comes in, because I get text message from the nurses. I'm like, oh my god, can I cover that donation? It can be quite stressful sometimes. So because I only have a couple of days to get it out there, so donations are greatly received.
Sure. So hopefully the people listening and watching can give generously to kids in quarantine. You could use an extra pair of hands. So thank you for spending the time with me, Mandi. We wish you all the best. And I hope we have helped in some way to promote what you are doing. Thank you so much. And goodbye.
Thank you. And good luck to everyone out there during these crazy times. Take care.
That's all we have for you today. Thanks for spending time with me, and to InView TV and to Bruce Mott for producing today's episode. My name is Thais Froggatt. See you next time on Lifestyles with Thais.